Yevgeny Prigozhin, the founder of Wagner Group, appears to have made his first public direct insult to Vladimir Putin, referring to a happy grandfather figure who he said may turn out to be a complete asshole. The development, according to Sky military analyst Michael Clarke, is significant. This time, he might have gone too far, he says of Mr. Prigozhin. He's really referring to the fact that the Wagner fighters are running out of ammunition here. Naturally, we will discuss it in greater detail.
А теперь слушайте меня, блядь. Это чьи-то, блядь, отцы и чьи-то сыновья. И те, которые не дают нам боеприпасы, будут в аду жрать их потроха, блядь. У нас нехватка боеприпасов 70%. Шойгу! Герасимов!
It is not weird to talk bad about Putin at this point, but the latest on the list actually shocked everyone.
Georgia's government has published several videos of the former president, violating his right to privacy, all for the court of public opinion on whether Misha, as he's known to the nation, is seriously ill or faking it.
The president of Georgia has condemned Russia's unacceptable restoration of visa-free travel for Georgian citizens. The president of Georgia has stated that Russia's restoration of visa-free travel for Georgian citizens is unacceptable so long as Moscow is waging war in Ukraine. Salomit Surabikvili wrote on Twitter, "Resuming direct flights with Georgia and lifting the visa ban is unacceptable as long as Russia continues its aggression on Ukraine and occupies our territory." Ms. Surabikvili frequently disagrees with the Georgian government, but the constitution grants her only limited executive authority.
На жаль, не всю бригаду вони поки що знищили. Там серйозно постраждали 2 роти. Вони залишаються провідною силою, але атакуючи, проте в силу великих втрат вони все більше і більше змушені задіювати підрозділи регулярного війська окупанта, як повітряно-десантних підрозділи.
Они абсолютно четко говорят, контрнаступление будет на земле, а не по телевизору, потому что пока в нашей стране все...
Russian brigade in Bakhmut, Ukraine claims to have damaged but not destroyed Russia's 72nd Separate Motor Rifle Brigade near Bakhmut, which it believes is still Moscow's primary target. Sarai Cheravatyi, representative for Ukrainian soldiers in the east, said the circumstance stayed troublesome in the city, yet that Moscow was progressively compelled to utilize normal armed force powers on account of weighty misfortunes among the Wagner private armed force bunch. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the boss of Wagner's mercenaries, said yesterday that the 72nd Brigade left Bakhmut after 500 members of his paramilitary group died trying to get them.
Було більше Росія, але так як була більша площа.
Чим зазвичай носить?
We already discussed the situation in Bakhmut, where various reports suggest that Ukraine has been establishing the upper hand after months of brutal fighting. Surrendering Russian soldiers shown following drone after note dropped to him. A video delivered by Ukrainian authorities today shows what is suspected to be a Russian fighter in the savagely challenged city who truly wants to give up. Alexander Sherba, a spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, claims that Ukrainian forces handed him a note and instructed him to follow a drone. Mr. Sherba says the fighter is presently in Ukrainian guardianship.
Also troubling for the Kremlin, Prigozhin hired Mikhail Mitsintsev.
And our main news was of course the earlier news of comments by Wagner Group founder Yevgeny Prigozhin, who appears to have directly insulted Vladimir Putin for the first time in public, in a reference to a happy grandfather figure who he said may turn out to be a complete asshole. However, the Russian president may be losing grip.
The development, according to Sky military analyst Michael Clarke, is significant. He says of Mr. Prigozhin, he may have overstepped the line this time. He's really talking about the fact that the Wagner fighters are running out of ammunition here. He has always used his friendship with Putin to publicly criticize the military in order to negotiate a settlement with Putin. That was what Putin did at the end of February, but this time he seems to be directly criticizing Putin. The point is that Putin is currently in charge of the Kremlin like a medieval monarchy. No one's occupation appears to be an issue.
Would stand by you tomorrow as you rebuild and work toward a brighter future for the Ukrainian people.
U.S. military chiefs say that NATO should accompany grain shipments if Russia pulls out of the deal. A series of statements from Russia have indicated that Moscow may be preparing to pull out of an agreement that allowed the export of grain shipments from ports in Ukraine. It's all to do with who is near to Putin, who Putin listens to, and Putin may now be beginning to lose his grip, the former military chief said. So yeah, if NATO unites and does the necessary accompanies, everything could actually work out better for Ukraine, and we could see even better developments. The pact will not be extended beyond May 2018 unless a list of demands is met, Russia has stated. According to former CIA and NSA Director General Michael Hayden and former Supreme Allied Commander at NATO James Stavridis, if Moscow follows through on threats to pull out, NATO should consider escorting shipments out of Ukraine. Stavridis claims that this would exacerbate global food shortages and cripple Ukraine's economy. Poland has summoned Russia's ambassador over a serious international incident involving a Russian fighter jet and a Polish border guard aircraft over the Black Sea. As a result, relations between the two countries are deteriorating. The Kremlin has stated in official documents that Poland's decision to rename the Russian city of Kaliningrad is a hostile act, which is yet another indication of the deteriorating relationship between the two countries. Until the end of the Second World War, when it was annexed by the Soviet Union and renamed in honor of Soviet politician Mikhail Kalinin, Kaliningrad was referred to as Königsberg in German. However, Warsaw said yesterday that Kalinin's association with the 1940 Katyn slaughter, when great many clean military officials were executed by Soviet powers, had unfortunate underlying meanings, and that the city ought to now be alluded to as Królewicz, its name when it was controlled by the realm of Poland in the 15th and 16th hundreds of years. Poland's Committee on Geographical Standardization stated, the current Russian name of this city is an artificial baptism unrelated to either the city or the region. Dmitry Peskov, a spokesperson for the Kremlin, stated today that the decision bordered on madness. He stated in a daily news briefing, "We know that throughout history Poland has slipped from time to time into this madness of hatred toward Russians. Poland, a NATO member, and Russia have historically had strained relations, including during and after the Second World War. We've been following the drama between the leader of the Wagner mercenary group and the traditional Russian forces over the past few days, and it won't be over soon." Wagner takes aim at the Russian Defense Ministry once more. Yevgeny Prigozhin has voiced his displeasure that the Ministry of Defense is only providing his forces, which are engaged in combat in Bakhmut, with 10% of the necessary shells. Only days prior, he reported the military had guaranteed him anything that provisions were required, after he took steps to pull out from the eastern Ukrainian city. He stated today that lengthy meetings with the ministry regarding the shell issue have taken place, but no progress has been made. "We're scratching by with a negligible amount of shells," said Mr. Prigozhin, adding his men were regardless proceeding to progress in Bakhmut. And that's technically all for the situation. For more videos like this, you can always subscribe to our channel, but for the moment, have a great day, and goodbye. We'll see you in the next video.